Renu's home was in North Sonapur village of Raipur Upazila, Lakipur, Bangladesh. Renu was the youngest among one brother and 5 sisters. Since childhood, she was of a slightly nervous nature. But Renu was very talented. She never came second in school. She was always the first girl. Her father had dreamed that Renu would become a doctor or a government BCS officer, although that dream was not fulfilled. After finishing her studies, she worked for some time at Arongambrak in Dhaka. After that, Renu got married in the hope of happiness. Initially, married life was going well with her husband. Lit by the light of her lamp, 2 small children were born to Renu, son Tassin Al-Mahir and daughter Tasmin Mahira Tuba. But she could not endure so much happiness in her fate for long. Even after having 2 small children, Renu got separated from her husband. After that, thinking of the children, she did not have the courage to marry again. When the son turned 11, Renu's husband took the son and moved to a house in Dhaka in Bada, leaving the 4-year-old daughter in Renu's custody. After this, Renu's battle for life began with her daughter. She started living in the capital's Mohakali with her 4-year-old daughter and elderly mother Sabura Khatun, and began tuition to carry on the struggle for life. Like other 10 parents, Renu too wanted to raise her child as a good student in her own way. The little child was only 4 years old. Therefore, keeping up with the traditional continuity, it was necessary to admit the child to school. Thinking about where to admit her and how to do it, Renu fell asleep at night. It was July 20th, 2019. The morning light had not yet fully descended on the streets of northeast Bada in Dhaka. School classes for small children happen a bit early. So that morning, Renu had come to admit her daughter to the northeast Bada government primary school, a faint smile on her face, dreams of the future in her eyes, laughter of children at the school gate, and conversation of guardians altogether a normal day. But the poison of rumors had spread all around Dot. It was floating by word of mouth. Child kidnappers are roaming. An unnecessary shadow of fear had gripped people's minds. The guardians standing at the school gate were initially surprised to see the unfamiliar Renu. After asking her, it was known that she had come to admit her daughter. The statement seemed logical enough to everyone. One person asked again, "Where is your house, sister?" Renu said at Ali's Moor in Bada and have been there for 14 years. In a moment, another person said, "But I have never seen you around here." Renu then got a bit flustered and said, "No, I live in Mohakali in Dhaka." An unknown face, unknown mannerisms and hesitation regarding the address. All combined, a small seed of suspicion was born. And this small seed became a terrifying tree in an instant. Just with this slight discrepancy regarding the address, it was as if fire spread all around. It started being uttered from people's mouths. "This is a child kidnapper." Before Renu could understand anything, she was taken to the headmistress's room. To handle the situation, a lock was hung on the school gate. Standing in front of the headmistress, Renu said calmly, "I have come to admit my child, madam, and I had spoken about it before too." But her words got buried under the roar of the mob outside. Below, a flood of people kept gathering. The rumor was spreading like fire. Many started saying, "Catching child kidnappers in the school. Hand her over to us. We are looking into it. We will teach the child kidnapper a lesson for life." Seeing such a precarious situation outside the school, the headmistress announced on the mic, "She is innocent. Everyone please calm down." But the words of logic do not reach the ears of excited people. Suddenly, some over-enthusiastic members of the crowd broke the lock and entered the school. They reached up to the headmistress's room on the 2nd floor. At one stage, being pushed and unable to sustain the resistance, the teachers were forced to move away, and Renu stood alone silently with cold terror. Then, an unbelievable rampage. The mob started dragging Renu down the stairs. With a mixture of fear, helplessness, and the dread of death, Her eyes grew large with terror, and at that moment, her voice floated out, mouth full of crying fear, a plea to save her life. "I am not a child kidnapper. I am not a child kidnapper. Listen to me." But there was no one there to listen. As soon as she was brought down, the beating started. 1, 2, 3, blow after blow. Reinu's body became still, yet human hands did not stop. In a moment, the light of a life was extinguished. Still, the beating continued. A mother's last scream became silent in the cold air of the city. Police arrived much later when everything was over. After that, the police took Reinu to Dhaka Medical College Hospital in critical condition. And there, after necessary examinations, the duty doctor declared her dead. Regarding this incident on that day, Reinu's nephew, Nasiruddin, filed a murder case against 400 or 500 unidentified persons at Bada police station. From hospital, Reinu's dead body reached the village in Lakshmipur. The elderly mother, Sabura Khatun, kept crying, calling her child's name. That crying seemed to want to break the sky down. On the other hand, her little daughter Tuba cried for her mother. Some people tried to distract her, saying, "Mum went downstairs, we'll bring a dress for you." The 4-year-old child does not understand. Mother will never take her in her lap again. After the investigation, on September 10th, 2020, the investigating officer of the case, DB Police Inspector Abdul Haqqi, submitted a charge sheet against 15 people in the Dhaka Metropolitan Magistrate Court. In this sensational case, after recording the testimony of 19 out of 36 witnesses, Judge Fatima Imroz Konika of Dhaka's 6th Additional Metropolitan Sessions Judge Court framed charges against 13 accused on April 1st, 2021. The trial proceedings could not be completed, as the sole accused Mohiuddin was absconding. To present him in court on January 3rd, 2021, Dhaka Metropolitan Magistrate Mamunur Rashid ordered the attachment of his property and issued an arrest warrant. February 1st, 2021 was fixed for submitting a report regarding this, fearing such directions. Mohiuddin surrendered in the court of Dhaka's Additional Metropolitan Magistrate on January 27th, 2021 and applied for bail. After the hearing, the judge rejected his bail application and ordered him to be sent to jail. After a long presentation of arguments and analysing all evidence and witness testimonies, finally, on October 09, 2024, Judge Muhammad Morshid Alam of Dhaka's 6th Additional Metropolitan Sessions Judge Court announced the verdict of this discussed case. The court ordered the death penalty by hanging for Ibrahim alias Hridoy Molla and ordered life imprisonment for the accused Ria Begum Moina, Abul Kalam Azad, Kamal Hossain and Asadul Islam, along with a fine of 1 lakh taka for each convicted accused, in default of which they would suffer another year of imprisonment. Besides, as the charges were not proven beyond reasonable doubt, 8 accused were acquitted.